masters. And so we are here to give you knowledge and wisdom because masters move in a degree of knowledge and wisdom and absorption, meaning they're always studying and improving themselves and learning. Masters absorb an incredible amount of knowledge and wisdom, far more than the mindset of the masters. How many books have you read in the past month? I'm going to go so even further. How many books have you read in the past year? How much have you studied? How much have you sown into your own education? I want some of you to go out tomorrow or within the next 2 days and go to the bank and just open up and just call it my education account. Just call it. Just call it education account. Because that's a place where you're going to put separate, you're going to tithe into that. So now, if you make $100 a week, you're going to, and you should also have an account for your tithes too, where your tithes go out at, or an account where offerings go out at. An account to cover expenses that you have to cover. That's another teaching that we'll do when we talk about getting your piggy banks and stuff prepared. But you should have an account for your tithes, an account for your expenses, an account for offering, but an account for education. So you should. So if you're making $1,000 a week, how hard is it to put 10% of that into your own education to increase your gift, your craft? Because this is what a master does. Masters absorb an incredible amount of knowledge and wisdom, far more than the average person. As one master once told me, this is what one master told me. As one master once told me, he says, read a book a week on a subject that you want to achieve the most in your life. When I wrote my first book about 14 years, 15 years ago, I was reading a lot of books and studying books and the topics that I wanted to write in. So I wanted to write a book on serving and how to be an effective servant. I bought books in that topic so that I can study other masters to see what they were doing. Started getting books and studying and getting stuff into writing and how to write a book. So I mastered the topic that I wanted to master. When I wrote a book on relationship, it was also for my own personal life because I studied my life and my own mistakes, but I also started buying books and teaching materials on relationship. So if you come to my library, you're going to see at least 50, 60 books on relationship. I'm working on a second book, part two of that. So I'm writing other, so I purchase other books and other materials that I would study and I would read and I would listen to, but also in my time of prayer. Now, Holy Ghost, now Lord, speak to me in my time of silence and give me principles and information and revelation as I study your word so that I can teach these truths. So he said, read a book a week on the subject that I most wanted to achieve in my life. Thus, I dedicated my life to the understanding of self, evolutionary thinking, as well as relationships. You may say, I want to write a book on poetry. So go get information on poetry. Go sit in some place and listen to people tell poetry. And I began to study these things and these topics. I want to thank Sister Latanya Clay for getting her seat in of 11111. I also want to get her some of the holy mountain oil that has been prepared. We're talking about mastery today. Do you want to master your life situations? And this mastery is not about mastering others, it's about mastering you. We have one person that has done the 11111. There are still, okay, Holy Ghost, there are still 10 more. Tonight, 11 people to do the seed of 11111. 11 masters. I want to rise and go to the next level. I want to go to the next dimension. We talked last night about the nine doing the seed of $911, and there's two books that I want to get into your hands. I want to say to those that is doing the 11111, if you just do that tonight, you're on your way. If you would just do that tonight, you're on your way. The 11111. I can start sending you parts of the book already. I can start sending you chapters already that you can start studying. I want many of you to get a piece of paper because we're talking about mastery today. And there's some exercise that I want you to begin to do to help you to move into mastery. And today we're going to do a self study. And so if you have your pen and paper, I want you to write these three things down. And then we're going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about them. We're going to get open. Number one, I'm going to give you three questions. Just write it down and you're going to put it to the side. What behaviors and habits have I been engaging in that are indicative of the masses or race consciousness that needs to be transformed and transmuted into a self mastery mindset? Now, listen, if you didn't get that, then I'm going to tell you what you need to do because I'm not going to be repeating myself. You need to find your way over to bishopberrian.com and join me in the chat room. That is the purpose of the chat room. Because I'm not in the business of babying you. This is a place for masters. Don't ask me to repeat it because if you had the wisdom to join me over to the chat room where I'm constantly telling you to join me at, then guess what? You will be able to just go there and copy it. Why? Because I type it over there for you. So if I was you, I would find my way over to bishopberrian.com. That's bishopberrian, BERRIAN.com, and click on the button that says Global Chat. That's a place where we can communicate back and forth and talk to one another. Second of these three questions: what characteristics of the masters had the most profound effect on you and why? Now, we're going to go back over that again a little bit. We talked about the other day. What characteristics of the masters had the most profound effect on you and why? Number three, what can you do this week and forever to continually move away from the master's state of consciousness toward the master state of consciousness? I'll repeat these questions along with the CD that I'm going to send you to those that do the 11111. Because this is going to be your homework. And we're going to be communicating back and forth. And I'm going to be challenging you. I'm going to be provoking you. I'm going to be confronting you. Why? Because there is no transformation without confrontation. If I don't confront you, then there is no transformation. You must confront yourself. You must confront your thoughts. You must confront your emotions. You must confront your mind. You must confront your generational lineage, beliefs, and mindsets. Let me say it again. There is no transformation without confrontation. I am forever confronting myself and asking myself questions. Why are you in my life? Why am I thinking that particular thought? What brought this about in my life? Even if a sickness shows up, what thought, what emotion, what idea brought that experience in my life? The more you get to know Bishop Berrian, if you find me quiet and not doing a whole lot of talking, that means that you've done something or I'm questioning. No, 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 I'm not going to say that you've done something. That means that I'm questioning myself why I have you in my life. We're talking about mastery today. We're gonna. I want to get into our teaching today, but God has us in the has us, and because this what we're speaking tonight, this is for masters. This is not for the faint at heart. Some of you, I'm going to make you damn angry, and I'm going to be smiling, and I'm going to be happy about it. Because if you're struggling and living from pillow to post, I got to look at your mindset, and I got to ask myself a question: do I want to take the time to mentor you, or do I want to send you on your way? Do I want to take the time to have you in my life, or should I eject you from my life? And when we're talking about when all the teachers, when I say masters, I'm talking about people that have mastered some things, people that have mastered a topic that I'm involved in, people that are going places. Because as I told you on Sunday, I have three levels of relationships. I have one person that has much more than me, another person that can correct me when I go off a base, a person that can connect me when I'm out of the line of God, and my third person is a person that's at my level.